The road to WrestleMania is just about here. It seems like yesterday The Rock was just hosting WrestleMania 27, and now we're going to WrestleMania 28, which is basically a few months away. And yes, we are going to have The Rock against John Cena. Still looking forward for that, and as well looking forward into ordering the Royal Rumble. And with that being said, we only got a few matches on the card. And before I get into the actual few matches, I will be talking about what the Royal Rumble means to me, and then going into the matches and what kind of surprises to expect going into the Royal Rumble. So with that being said, you know what's coming up next. That's right, roll that intro. Alright, so with me, with the Royal Rumble, definitely one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year, and I hope you guys enjoyed the very special In the Hot Seat episode celebrating the 25 years of the Royal Rumble. Of course, for those of you who did not get to see that episode, I will leave a link down below for those of you who did not get to check it out, or as well, you guys can go check it out in my video section. Definitely had fun doing that with my friends and everything right here and my subscribers, so I might do that once again going into Elimination Chamber and as well for WrestleMania, and for the rest of the pay-per-views, just really celebrating them and going into favorite moments and matches and all that good stuff. So I'll be on the lookout for that with the next and upcoming pay-per-views, so which is always fun to do. And going into the Royal Rumble and what it means to me, really, someone getting an opportunity to be a part of WrestleMania that hasn't been, or looking to be a part of WrestleMania again, and really getting you ready for the road to WrestleMania with the Royal Rumble. So, and also it shows great surprises, which I also enjoy, and it is that event that really is unpredictable, and you never know what's going to be happening there. So it makes up for a good event each and every time, especially with the Royal Rumble match, so which makes it more special. And that's basically what means to the Royal Rumble in my opinion. So feel free, of course, to leave your thoughts, how you feel about the Royal Rumble, what you look forward for each and every year, and what are you looking forward for this year, and all the surprises and all that stuff that you think that might be happening going into this year's Royal Rumble. Alright, as far as surprises go, there are a few that I am looking forward into happening and want to actually happen, that could happen. So with one that I have been mentioning, especially in the hot seat, of course, I am hoping to have Christian come back, especially with his whole injury, and between his status, he is looking to hopefully come back going into the Royal Rumble, and I'm sure he will be coming back as a face and going to the Hall of Fame ceremony and inducting Edge. So I'm pretty sure Christian will be coming back as a face, and I think it would be really cool to see for a WrestleMania match to have Christian against Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship, if Daniel Bryan is still going to be a heel. So I'm not too sure how long they're going to have this heel turn for Daniel Bryan, if this is just you know, like a part-time thing, or he's gonna be a full-blown heel going into WrestleMania and going into the rest of 2012. So depending on what's gonna happen with that, I think that would be a really awesome match to see between Christian and Daniel Bryan going into WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I think that would be really cool. Also, Rey Mysterio, I'm not really too sure on what's gonna happen with him. I think he's supposed to be coming back soon, so I'm sure we'll probably get a surprise entry from Rey Mysterio. As far as The Rock goes, not really too sure about that either. I think that would be pretty interesting, just to surprise John Cena if he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match, and to actually continue the feud going into WrestleMania. I'm not saying that The Rock is going to win the Royal Rumble, but we'll probably see The Rock and John Cena have that altercation and probably end up eliminating each other going into the Royal Rumble match. So I think that would be pretty interesting to have that happen and to continue with their build-up going into the Royal Rumble. So that's one of the surprises there. And, we could see other, maybe legends return and basically have that, special return there for one night only. And we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. I know Mick Foley's supposed to be making a surprise entrance there, so that's really cool there. Not too sure if Kevin Nash or Triple H is going to actually return. I wouldn't really be surprised about that, to see them both in the Rumble, maybe continue their storyline, probably have a match at WrestleMania, which I wouldn't be surprised either. So, also The Undertaker, I'm sure he'll probably come back and look to be going into WrestleMania, and I'm not really too sure if this is going to be his actual last WrestleMania, so I think it would be really cool to see The Undertaker come back at the Royal Rumble, and especially to see how he's going to be doing. And I know they've been really saving him for WrestleMania with his whole injuries and everything like that, so hopefully he's doing really well and ready enough to come back at the Royal Rumble. So those are just a few of the people that I would like to see hopefully come back and basically have their surprise entry in the Royal Rumble match. So that's it when it comes to that as well. Be sure to leave your thoughts on who would you like to see going into the Royal Rumble match as a surprise entry. Now we get into some of the matches here. I'm going to kick things off with John Cena against Kane. And now with this one, I have been really enjoying the storyline since Kane came back with the mask. Has been really tremendous. And with this one, to me, with all honesty, I think this is going to be one of those matches where both of these guys will be put over. And I am going with Kane on this one, just to have Kane have the win here and continue this going into Elimination Chamber and until The Rock comes back. So I am liking what they're doing as of late and trying to have John Cena embrace the hate, and I'm sure eventually we might see a part-time heel turn by John Cena, eventually have The Rock come in and really piss John Cena off and want to be The Rock for himself. I think that's what is the most likely scenario to possibly even happen. So I don't really think they're going to have John Cena have a full part-time heel turn. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. But I do think we might see a little part-time heel turn as of right now, just to test the waters and to see how John Cena is going to do as a heel as of right now, and probably have some maybe tag team matches with Kane or something like that after their match at the Royal Rumble. But going into the Royal Rumble, I think it would be a good match between them, and I do have Kane as my pick and taking out John Cena there and to continue their storyline going into Elimination Chamber. Next match I got here is for the WWE Championship, which would be on the line. CM Punk taking on Dolph Ziggler, and of course with John Laurinaitis as a special guest referee. And during this week, we learned that John Laurinaitis could be potentially quote-unquote fired. So with this one, I'm sure John Laurinaitis for a while will try and call the match down the middle and try to save his job, and probably towards the end of the match looking to probably try and screw CM Punk, and we'll probably see that match between CM Punk and John Laurinaitis next week on Raw, and again trying to save John Laurinaitis with his job and everything. So eventually I do think probably Mick Foley might take the place of John Laurinaitis and be general manager. So I think that will probably happen, and we might see an appearance by Mick Foley before the Royal Rumble match itself. So anything can really happen with that. But as far as who I do see winning, I do see CM Punk going into WrestleMania and still walking in as champion. So I think that would be pretty interesting there, and I'm sure it'll be a good match between CM Punk and as well Dolph Ziggler. I'm sure Dolph Ziggler might come close, but not exactly win it just yet. Maybe sometime during this year, I'm sure maybe Dolph Ziggler will get that chance to become WWE Champion. Could happen at WrestleMania, not too sure, but I think CM Punk will be walking into WrestleMania as champion and possibly even walking out as champion. So as far as the Royal Rumble goes, I do see, yes, CM Punk walking out as WWE Champion and defeating Dolph Ziggler there. Now we get into the World Heavyweight Championship matchup, and this one is a triple threat match between The Big Show, Mark Henry, and Daniel Bryan, and it will be in a steel cage. And with this one, I think it should be good too. I'm sure we will get to see the Big Show and Mark Henry go at it for a while, and Daniel Bryan, of course, trying to mess with them and try to win the World Heavyweight Championship somehow, and probably escape the cage or what have you. And we'll see some more heelish stuff by Daniel Bryan going into his heel run. So I do expect that happening going into that match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, however, I do see, yes, Daniel Bryan as well walking out and retaining the World Heavyweight Championship and defeating Mark Henry and the Big Show, probably distracting the both of them and escaping the cage. That's just the way how I see it as of right now. So I'm sure it'll be a good steel cage match, and with the matches between the Mark Henry and Big Show haven't really all been that great. So now it's going to be a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sure it'll be somewhat better now that Daniel Bryan is in the mix. So as far as my pick goes, I do see Daniel Bryan retaining his World Heavyweight Championship and both champions retaining the titles. So that's where I am going and leaving things off with that. So Daniel Bryan is my pick for that one. Alright, so we move along into the main event, of course, the Royal Rumble match. Now with this, I do have a few picks going into this one. Not going to name a whole lot, but I do have some potential winners that I think will might win the Royal Rumble match. And with this one, I'm going to kick things off with the Intercontinental Champion. That's right, Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes looking to be a double champion going into WrestleMania. That's saying he's exactly going to win the Royal Rumble match, but as we saw with last year with Alberto Del Rio winning it, and anyone can really win the Royal Rumble match. So I think it would be an interesting surprise here to have Cody Rhodes win it, especially with being Intercontinental Champion. So anything can really happen there. Also, with my next pick, I do have Sheamus. We haven't really seen too much of Sheamus as of late, not really being a part of any major storylines, but we have seen Sheamus and as well Jinder Mahal with that whole storyline, which I don't really care about. And I'm sure going into with the road to WrestleMania, Sheamus will eventually kick things up a bit and looking to be the Royal Rumble winner for the first time. So, I think that would be pretty interesting there. Also, with Mass Kane, of course, Kane coming back and looking to dominate. And Kane has never won the Royal Rumble match and having the most I think one of the most Royal Rumble match to eliminate more people in the match. So Kane possibly another possible choice going into the Rumble match in itself. Also, I do have Wade Barrett on this list. Of course, he is looking to win the Royal Rumble match just like everyone else, and having really to be done as of late, going since the Survivor Series and taking out Randy Orton and having this whole Barrett barrage. So definitely Wade Barrett is on this list as well for my potential Royal Rumble winners, and as well Chris Jericho. Of course, Jericho coming back, and we'll probably have a match between, as the Razman stated earlier, that we could see Jericho, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, which I think would be a great match to see. Not too sure what's going to happen with that, but Chris Jericho saying it will be the end of the world as we know it. So that is a potential hint there that Chris Jericho could possibly even win it. And I'm sure after the Royal Rumble, most definitely Chris Jericho will be talking a lot more, and we'll see him be in more matches. So Chris Jericho is on this list, and as well with my main pick, and that's right, my boy Christian coming back and going into the Royal Rumble and winning his first time ever Royal Rumble match. So I think it would be a really good moment, and especially going into the Hall of Fame with Christian looking to induct the Edge there. So I'm pretty sure Christian will be coming back as a face and to have his one-more match going into WrestleMania and possibly facing Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I think that would be a cool moment there and a knockout moment to say the least for me. So that's basically it when it comes to my picks and as well predictions for the rest of the Royal Rumble match card. I'm not too sure if we're going to get a surprise match going into the Royal Rumble. That is always a possible choice since we've been seeing that as of late going into the rest of the pay-per-views. So there might be one more or one or two pay-per-view matches that might be surprisingly added. So of course I wouldn't be surprised about that either. So anything can really happen there. But as far as the main pay-per-view in itself, I am looking really forward for it. I will be ordering it and as well coming back on here and reviewing it for you guys. So with that being said, let me know what you're looking forward for going into the Royal Rumble. What are your favorite Royal Rumble moments and all of that, and as well be sure to check out In the Hot Seat, of course, from this week with the special Royal Rumble special. So definitely a show you cannot miss, and as well with my Royal Rumble predictions. So that about does it for me. I might go live on Ustream. I'm not really all that sure yet, but I will leave a link to my Ustream account there down below in the description box for you guys to check out, and probably, hopefully, to continue that tradition going into the pay-per-views and starting it off with the Royal Rumble. So depending on what's going to happen with that, I will keep you guys updated on that. And that about does it for me. Of course, be sure to leave a like, and as well, feel free to leave a video response or whichever you feel like doing. It's fine by me. And until then, of course, I will be back for my Royal Rumble review, and as well, I will talk to you guys, of course, most definitely later on. Peace.